Hey guys, happy Friday. I hope everyone's having a terrific day. I just realized that the room I'm sitting in doesn't have lights on, and I'm wondering how to turn them on, but I can't find it right now. So, this is what's going to be happening. Anyway, I just felt really inspired to come and talk to you guys today because today is the last day to join Start Your Side Hustle. Really, where are the lights? Just give me 1 second. Okay, I figured it out. I had to figure out how to turn on the lights. So, you guys, thanks for bearing with me. So, today is the last day to join Start Your Side Hustle. And I didn't really have this live planned, but I just wanted to come talk to you guys because I've been feeling extremely grateful today for having started my own side hustle, over 2.5 years ago. And now I'm working at a co working space here in New York. And I'm truly living out the motto of it, do what you love. And I would not be able to do this if I wouldn't have just started. So I'm here to answer any questions you have about the program. I'm very excited. A lot of people have been joining lately because we are on the last day. So, this is it. This is the decision time. And I also thought it would be fun to not just take my word for it. I wanted to bring you one of my absolutely most amazing clients and friends. He's a very good friend of mine. And he has started a side hustle around his job and around school. And he has just blown it away. And I thought that he could also share his experience having just started, as well as having worked with me a little bit. So we're going to bring him on as well. His name is Drew. Hey, Drew, you're being brought on here shortly.
Hi,
Hey,
Leah.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in with us.
Of course, you were making me blush just a minute ago.
You deserve it all. You deserve it all. So,
Thank you.
yeah, thanks again. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your own side hustle? And, especially I'd love for you to share what you've been up to lately. You've been killing it lately.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my name is Drew DuBoff. My site is over at drewduboff.com. And so I specialize in virtual assisting services. So specifically Facebook community management, email management, but also things like copy editing, proofreading, SEO editing. So all of those things under that umbrella I take care of. And as Leah mentioned, it's something that I do in my spare time. So I'm a full-time, college student. I'm also like the president of a, 1,000 member club. I work in campus dining, and this is a job that I've been able to do with minimal hours in the day and to really make an impact not only in my life, but in the lives of my clients. I've been able to help them improve their processes, improve their products. And so it's really this, symbiotic relationship between the freelancer and the client that I just love.
Amazing. Thank you so much for pointing that out. I think that's such a great thing to remember and something that I have been thinking about a lot lately, but I didn't at the beginning. And I think when you're starting out, sometimes, especially if you're spending money on something for the first time, you can feel maybe a bit selfish if you're spending money on yourself when really you going for something that helps your dreams come true will also help other people along the way. It really is a whole chain reaction, and you really sum that up so well. And I know some of the entrepreneurs that have been lucky enough to have you work for them, and I know how much you've helped their business grow and how much of a more of an impact they can make because of you. And if you wouldn't have started, not only would you not be where you are, but they wouldn't be where they are as well.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And that's, I have testimonials on my site to that effect.
Yeah, you're amazing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about maybe when you started and some of the things that came up? Maybe there was some fear around it. And if anyone out there is listening that has an idea or they don't have an idea, but they want to start, what advice could you give to them?
Absolutely. So I was 100% afraid when I started. It wasn't something that I was like, I just decided one day, okay, I'm going to start, a virtual assistant business. That's not how it worked for me. In fact, I was a member of a Facebook group and I was just providing a lot of value. I've gotten all of my clients through Facebook groups, for the record, not a single cold email in my life. And she had approached me and she needed help managing the Facebook group. And so it originally started just as, additional help. And then she reached out to me to become her virtual assistant. And this is on Create and Go, if you've heard of that business. And so when I had first started, I mean, I barely had my own site live. I didn't really know that much. I didn't know like the software like ConvertKit and Teachable and all of those sort of programs I had, no knowledge of. But I came from a hospitality college, so I know hospitality, and so that was what I brought to the table. And I think for me, when you're getting into a freelance career, right, like we all have things that we do well at. Customer service is one of them for me. And from what I've learned, not only from my story, but from other stories as well, is that the soft skills can't be taught, right? So things like communication, like listening, like relationships, that's the thing that if you have, you can get yourself booked, even if you don't have all of the hard skills, like understanding software or things of that nature. And I think understanding that can really help you get booked as, a freelancer or, in any sort of client-based relationship.
So when you started working as a VA, not having had really a website up or even really knowing, having never done it before, and then since then, as you've grown, how have you dealt with fear or any feelings of, can I handle this? Am I right for this? How do you advise people that are going through that themselves to move past it? And how have you?
I think for me, one of the biggest things that I would do is that I'm very clear about maintaining a good, authentic communication channel with all of my clients, so because at the end of the line, they're hiring me and this is their business that I'm working on. You would never want to jeopardize that relationship. So for me, I always ask them, is this, the right response, before taking, that unusual scenario and potentially making it worse. So, and they've always appreciated that. So for me, the fear is never like that I'm competent. It's more so, am I responding in the right way? Am I doing things according to their business principles? And they're more than happy, to clarify on that. And usually I get a very, a similar response back that, yep, that's what I would have said, go ahead and send it. So I think, we tend to doubt ourselves and our competencies, but I just think they're not, sedimented in the right logic. You can do amazing things and, you shouldn't let yourself be limited.
Yeah, and I think your story is also a good testament to how important, action is and getting clarity and getting better at what it is that you do, because you put yourself out there in Facebook groups and you did what you now make a living doing. And so a lot of people get stuck in preparing, over preparing, thinking they need to have all these things, this expertise or this like suite of experiences when they don't. And that you're going to learn by moving forward and by putting yourself out there and by, being in the action. And you continue to do that. And so that brings me, I would love to hear a bit more about how things have been shifting a bit more for you lately. And I know that you have some really exciting things to share.
Yeah, absolutely. So, since I've started to focus more on the freelancing side of my business and really getting that set up, I've been finalizing a deal with a new blogger for virtual assisting services, which will basically double my revenue. So from 1,000 to with my other client to now 2,000, including this client, the few other recurring services. So, doubling your revenue, is absolutely life-changing. I remember in our program call, I had said that I wanted, in the $30,000 to $50,000 range, I'd be satisfied with. And now, just with these 2 clients alone, it's 24,000, so I'm almost there and it's just January, so I'm like, maybe I should, raise my standards a little higher and stop being so conservative. But no, I think that's great. I've also started to do coaching for people, who are getting into growth and outsourcing because of all the freelance work I do. I know how the systems and the processes work. And I got my first client for that. My coaching call with him is actually tomorrow, so very exciting. And I think it's just an amazing adventure to embark on, and to really just trust yourself. You can do it. I mean, I've told myself that so many times. It's just self-belief is just so incredibly important.
Yeah, I love it. And so I haven't been with you since you started your side hustle. You did quite a bit before you and I started working together, but you took my program, Scale Your Side Hustle. You've worked with me for a couple of months. You know quite a bit about what I do. And I have a program, Start Your Side Hustle, that closes today. So having worked with me, do you have any advice for someone who's considering doing that? And who might have been even maybe in your shoes where they are wanting to grow, and you can maybe talk a little bit about what you experienced?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, you're an incredible asset, to the group, and your vision and your direction is really, it's a really integral part of my growth, for my business. You've provided a lot of clarity on the direction and the path that I should go on. And I think if anyone's, out there doubting that, just having access to you is an amazing resource, and, worth the price of, no, it's worth the price of the program, because, you really do understand this, at its core. And so, I mean, my revenue has increased while, I was with you for the program, a whole new direction, new, rebrand, the whole 9 yards. It all came about through your program. So, I even joined the alumni program just for that, to have, access to you as a resource as I continue to go down, this direction. So, go for it.
Oh, thank you so much, Drew. That was so nice, making me blush. But it's been incredible. I mean, you did it all on your own. You built something really great, and I'm so happy that I've been able to help in any way. And I still know that this is just the beginning for you. And I told you on that call, and I'll tell you again, that your income goal was too low. I want to go up, and I know I will. But thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story. And I will talk to you very soon. Keep me posted with everything. And we are all excited to see where you go from this.
Absolutely. And if you need help, let me know.
Thanks, Drew. Right, I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to
Have
you
a great
soon.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. That was really great of Drew to come and talk to us. Let me just make sure that he is doing okay. All right. Okay. Awesome. Well, that was so sweet of him to come share his story with us. He has been really wonderful during all of my programs that he's been a part of. He was in my most recent Scale Your Side Hustle program. And like he mentioned, he's joining the alumni program, and he was able to double his side hustle income in just a couple of months, and even, exceed his annual goals. So things are going really great for him. And I hope that by seeing his story, as well as by knowing mine, you can see what's possible for you when you start. And especially when you start with someone who has been there and done that and experienced the things you desire for yourself. That's why I'm offering this. That's what I'm here to help you do. And before I let you go for the weekend, I just want you to really give yourself the moment to imagine what it would be like if you had just decided that you were going to go for this, and that you were not going to put things off any longer. Well, actually, let's stop with that for a second. When you truly decide that you are going to go for starting your own business, your own side hustle, whatever it is that's really calling you, and it's decided that you will do it no matter what the circumstances are, then all the other mind chatter leaves. And can you imagine how freeing it would be if you no longer were waiting for one day for something to happen, if you were, counting your pennies because you already knew you were going to do this and that you're going to make your investment back again and again and again. You weren't staying up at night wondering, should I move forward? Should I not? Is this a good idea? What am I doing with this? Like, you have no more of that questioning, that mind chatter. Things are clear. You know what you're about. And imagine how freed up you would feel and you would be at that point when you realize that, because you've already decided you don't need to be going back and forth with all of that. And so how would it feel tomorrow if you woke up and you realized that you had made this decision that 2019 is going to be the year that everything changes for you financially, the decision that you are going to be the next success story and you're not going to just keep reading about other people's, the decision that your financial future is going to be in your hands and not be relying on a 9-to-5 job that is not all that secure to begin with. That's a whole nother rant, but that's the truth. And you've just decided that you aren't going to be the person that lives in indecision or flakiness anymore. How freeing would that feel? When I didn't have a program, unfortunately, quite like this when I first started out. I pieced a lot together for a long time. But I do even remember there's sort of two things that I could compare myself to for this. The first big course I took was Pinfinite Growth with Melissa Griffin. And it was all about Pinterest for blogging. And at the time, my website was just really a blog. And it was a huge investment for me at the time. I think her course was something like $400. I had not made a penny from my website, and I had no way or rhyme or reason for how I was going to do that. So truly, it was a big stretch for me. It was coming from money that I didn't have between my 9-to-5 job salary and the zero other income I had. But the morning after I bought it, and, the excitement that I felt to get up that morning, to go to a coffee shop on a Saturday morning and sit there and go through the whole thing and really do this and put myself in the game and no longer be sitting on the sidelines and no longer be wondering, what if I just tried? It did not feel heavy that I had spent the money or that I had to do this. It actually made me feel so much more proud of myself, because I realized that when I wanted something, I would come through for myself. I was not going to just be a flake to myself. I was not, I was not going to be someone that pushed things off. I was no longer putting other people's wants or desires or needs or whatever before my own. I was taking a stand for myself. And that's what I want for you. And so if you want that for yourself, then I encourage you to start your side hustle right now. I encourage you to take the action. You immediately have access to all 4 of the modules. We're opening up the Facebook group tomorrow, and the program starts tomorrow. And this is your opportunity to make that decision for yourself, free yourself of the indecision and the questioning, and get to the place that you want to be and that you know you deserve to be. But the doors close tonight, and they are not opening again. This is my lowest price program of the year, and I highly encourage you to take advantage of this if you are ready to move forward once and for all. So with that, I wish you a very happy Friday. I hope to see you in this program. If you have any questions at all, email me today, leah@urban20something.com. I'd love to chat with you and make sure you're making the best decision for yourself. And I hope you have a beautiful weekend.